Full-time versus part-time. Well, living on the road, living as a nomad, there's two different categories. A full-time traveler, a full-time nomad, you live every day of the year, 24/7, 365, you live on the road without owning any property. Or there's the part-time nomad, someone who has a house and on the weekend they go on camping adventures, or they're retirees and they own property but they want to go on an extended trip to travel the country and to enjoy. So there's two different lifestyles within the nomadic lifestyle. There's full-time nomads and part-time nomads. Full-time nomads are pretty much homeless. Okay. Now, their vehicle, whether it's their car, van, or RV, is their home full-time. And within that, there are some who are destitute, who are living that way for whatever circumstance, and there's a variety. And for the part-time, they're adventure seekers, and they're at a season of their life where they're trying to add some spice to their life. So the spectrum of the nomadic life can really vary, okay, depending on each individual person and their circumstance and their goals and their mindset. And there is a little bit to be said that to really fully embrace the nomadic life, you would need to be full-time. Because in the beginning of my journey, when I owned a house in New Jersey, to see if this lifestyle would be something I'd even consider, is I started to take part-time weekend trips, just a couple hours away from my house, or spend a night in my car traveling and then come back on Monday for my job. And it's hard to get a feel for the nomadic life part-time. You get some feel, and you should try it, you should test it, but there's nothing like fully submersing in the nomadic life. There's nothing as freeing as living full-time as a nomad. However, there's also nothing as vulnerable and risky as living full-time with no stable home base. So it's the risk-reward ratio. A full-time nomad has a level of freedom that very few people in this world will ever experience. They also are the most vulnerable people in society. You're vulnerable to the weather, to the campground, to conditions that you have very little control over. It's part of the adventure. A part-timer can enjoy that adventure at the same time. In the back of their mind, they know that they have a place to go if they don't like the road. They know that if they get old and sick, as a part-timer, they have a home to go back to. They have stability and security. So there's two different reasons, and there's two different mindsets and two different lifestyles, the part-time and the full-time. They both have different pros and cons. Just like everything in this world, you will evaluate the pros and the cons and then try to figure out what's best for you as an individual, because you have your own fingerprint. You're different than anyone else in this world. You may be similar, but you're different. And as an adult, it's your job to determine what's best for you. And if you don't, or if you do it too badly, then society kind of determines that for you. And that's the way life is. So no matter what you decide, you have to take accountability whether it goes right or wrong, because as an adult, you're making that decision. Your income is always the answer to your freedom. I want to say that again, because I do meet some people that are delusionary. They have thoughts of grandeur in their mind, but they don't understand the reality of life, that your income, not your savings, not your anything else, your income, what you know you get every month or what you can make every month, and having data to back that up, that is your freedom. Because living on the road is not free. Living is not free. You got to pay for food. You got to pay for a variety of different things in life. And your income will help you enjoy the nomadic life more than others. If you're destitute, do you want to add more vulnerability to your situation by living on the road? Now, some people with the right mindset, with their right age, with the right health, they can increase maybe or enhance their life a little bit by cutting their housing as far as living in an apartment or house. However, you have to really understand, you have to be disciplined in your budget, and you have to know that now as a full-time nomad, you're out in extreme weather, driving more, dealing with people more, less stability. There's something to be said for the freedom of full-time nomading. Nothing like it. I truly believe it. Nothing like it. There's something to be said for having a home base to go back to. Stability. If you get older, if you get sick. There's pros and cons to both. What should you do? You should evaluate your life and make a decision. It's not easy. I think about that now. I am a little bit addicted to the freedom. There's less mental anxieties of having something that I know I have to account for, whether it's a mortgage or lease or property taxes or just a fixed location. However, there's also something in my mind that says, Sam, if you get older, as you get older, not if you get older, as you get older, or God forbid, if you get sick, there's a value of having some stability in your life, and you have to sometimes be proactive in making decisions before you have to make decisions. Because when you're in a tough situation, that's not the time to make decisions. It's when things are going good, you kind of want to position yourself for when things are going bad. I haven't determined yet as a full-time nomad. I've been a full-time nomad for 3 years. I haven't determined yet if the pros outweigh the cons to get a home base. Now, I could still rent if I really needed to, and I could still do a variety of things. My income is the ticket to my freedom. However, I've been laid off before. I've had financial stuff just go bad before. So my main thing in life is trying to build a sustainable level of supplemental income and position myself in environments and in a situation where I have the ability to earn an income at some level, whether it's something as simple as DoorDash or Uber or something as major as the corporate world. As you get older, look, you want to work less. Why? Because you get burnt out. Okay, I'm 40 years old this year. I've been working since I was 17. What is that? That's 23 years. Okay. However, most people, including me to this point, hopefully that'll change, you're not going to be able to retire till you're in your 60s. And if you don't work the prime earning years of your life, you won't have much in Social Security, you won't have much in retirement, and you don't want to be destitute when you're a senior citizen. Because you're less employable, you have less strength, less health, and you're more vulnerable in society. It's true. And my heart goes out to people in that position. And some people put themselves in that position. Some people, they fell upon hard times. I can't solve the world. Okay? I've tried before. All you could do is try to live your best life so you're not a burden to others. And then, when moments present themselves, and if you can help a little bit, help. But there's a certain level of everyone has to do a little bit of their own work. It's just true. But I want you to really evaluate full-time versus part-time nomad. Okay? I want you to evaluate not just how things are today, but how things may be in the future, how things may be if they turn bad. And, look, there's going to be nothing as freeing as living full-time. So it's addictive, and I'm in that boat a little bit. And so trying to balance that is not an easy decision. It's not. But I want to share with you some of these thoughts that may help you. Realistic thoughts. Hopefully, they give you a perspective that is from experience, that's unique, and not trying to sell you something. I'm not trying to sell you the dream. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Okay. I try to make a side hustle on YouTube. However, I don't pander. I share honestly at the expense sometimes of losing viewers. Okay. And so what I could tell you is you're going to have to determine if you want to be a full-time or part-time nomad and for how long you want to do that. And what your retirement looks like if you do full-time nomad. Are you willing to retire in a campground? If you're never going to own property, are you willing to... That's it. You're pretty much going to retire in the campground or live on the street till you die. However, look, you got to enjoy your life too. Sometimes even when you own a home, you end up in assisted living because you can't live on your own. So there's no guarantees in life. There's none. It's just evaluation. So if this video helped, I appreciate if you click that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're not. Check out my playlist and my Patreon, and I will see you guys in the next video, God willing. Keep the faith. Don't be religious. Take care of yourself. Self-care. Moving, eating well. Keep positive people around you. If you can't find anyone positive, there's nothing wrong with walking alone a level of your journey, and that's what faith is for. Peace and love.